how much do I need a year to sustain this life? And so I worked out it's about 10 grand. And so then I was like, well, how do I go back to London and earn 10 grand in a day? Because then I can have the rest of the year off, right? And so that became my philosophy.
I have a friend of mine, I've not seen him in a while, but we used to be quite good friends. But I lived in Vegas for 5 or 6 years. And he's an English guy, a bit older than me, and he lived in the States. And he, I guess, operated under a very, very similar philosophy. I mean, not the 1 day for 1 year, but he basically spent 5 months of his summer in New York spray painting. He was, the kind of graffiti ones that you sell. Yeah. And he would earn enough money to live a very good life during those 5 months, and then he decamped to Thailand for the other 7 months of the year. Never worked there because he had enough savings from his 5 months. And I guess it's kind of somewhat similar to that philosophy. And I used to look at him with almost like mixed emotion of, on the one hand being thinking, what a great life, the guy's not got a care in the world. He's doing what he loves and he's earning money from it. But then I guess the more, let's say, practical question for me then comes out of sustainability. That it's great when you're 20, 25, 30, and this guy's now, let's say, early 50s and still doing it. But when he's finished in Thailand and he starts again in New York, he's basically broke by that point. And I mean, where do you think the long term and
is he happy there?
Well, he's happy, but my reference wasn't so much to being broke when he starts again, because the process starts again. But there will become a day when he's just too old and knackered to do that, and then all of a sudden, he won't be earning that good money, and he won't be decamping to Thailand. And
well, I mean, the way I look at it, because obviously when I was surfing in Hawaii, I only needed 10 grand. I was like 23, 24. At the time, that's kind of what worked. Obviously, as you get older, you need a little bit more money, which makes sense. But what I learned by doing that is, so I came back and started an events company called Modball, right? And I think the first event I made 20 grand, and then I messed up the VAT. And so I didn't earn any
24.
Money. I think I earned about 12 grand. Like it was, I don't know what happened there, but obviously mistakes, like I learned. But so obviously, the difference was though, me doing 1 week of an event a year just freed me up to do more, right? So even though, say I wanted to earn 20 grand a year, right? And I create an event or I create something that's like a week, I'm still not in a full-time job, 40 hours a week, right? So I've done that, and if I want to create a new one, I can go and earn another 20. So as you get older, and as I got older and my responsibilities changed, once I turned 30, I didn't want to go to Hawaii anymore, although I still go every year to do a skydiving surf trip, because it's fun, But I do it in nice hotels now. It's obviously changed, As you get older, you like nicer pillows, don't you? So that's basically, the philosophy works in the sense that you can, if you're younger, then you don't need that much money. You could do it in 1 day, or you could, even if you do it in a month, you still get 11 months off, right? But that 11 months becomes all this space in your head to enjoy life and do what you want to do and create more businesses, which is what I've ended up doing. I've invested in companies, all things that I love, like CrossFit, fitness, all that kind of stuff, but I've invested in those companies with really good business partners that I really like. I spend all my time with. They're like friends, and they run the company. So the benefit for me is that I just kind of come in and out, oversee everything, do the marketing side, but I still get all the time to do whatever I want.